While we're waiting for others to join, maybe I will do some quick introduction to this AMA first. So I'm Jen from Band Protocol Marketing Team, and I would like to welcome everyone to today's AMA sessions with our partner, Injective. And for any listeners who has any questions that you would like to ask the Injective team or Band Protocol, at the end we'll be having an open Q&A sessions for you to ask your questions. So please stay tuned until the end. I think we can start now. So without further ado, I will hand over the spotlight to Leon, our community moderator who will be hosting this AMA sessions today.
Yeah, cheers, Jen, for the short introduction. First and foremost, I'm unfortunately on my old Twitter account. Somehow Twitter wouldn't let me know my main Twitter handle. So without further ado, welcome everyone, wherever you're from. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. To today's AMA regarding our long-lasting partnership with Injective. Let me give you a short overview on Injective. Injective is a lightning-fast, interoperable layer 1 blockchain optimized for building the premier Web3 finance applications. Injective uniquely provides plug-and-play finance infrastructure primitives, such as high-performance on-chain decentralized exchange infrastructure, decentralized bridges, oracles, and a composable smart contract layer with Cosmo WASM. As Jen already touched on, I'm Leon, and I'm your host for today. I'm a community moderator at Band Protocol, and I have been for the past few years. And I'm very happy to host today's AMA regarding the intersection of two amazing projects, namely Band Protocol and Injective, on how we work together to bring value to the blockchain space. Today we have with us Fawn and Eric. Fawn is the Chief Strategy Officer at Band Protocol, and Eric is the co-founder and CEO at Injective Labs. So thanks for joining, guys. A warm welcome. Before we do a deep dive into the long-lasting partnership, could you both briefly introduce yourselves? Let's start with Eric.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Eric.
Fawn, could you introduce?
Hi, I'm Fawn. I'm from Band Protocol. Actually, really glad to have Eric today. We haven't ever had this kind of session with Injective before or so long, so it's really great to have everyone.
Super. Eric, for new people joining that might not be aware of what Injective is, could you give our listeners a more in-depth explanation on what you're trying to solve with Injective and what the vision is here?
Yeah, sure. So Injective is basically this blockchain that's built for finance. The entire infrastructure and the entire design for Injective is highly optimized and tailored for this specific, DeFi vertical. So this means that developers can basically enjoy, all the plug and play module that's, out of the box for Injective. But not only that, the overall ecosystem and the overall infrastructure will evolve and be tailored around the specific vertical needs. So this basically ensures that Injective is currently the best possible environment for DeFi developers to build cutting-edge applications, and will continue to do so. And I would say that currently there are a variety of applications such as exchange applications, lending protocols, exotic derivatives protocols building on top of Injective. With a wide range of application. Really excited to see that Helix continuously surpassed kind of volume records and became one of the top 20 dexes out there, and super excited about Frontrunners upcoming mobile app launch as well.
Yeah, very cool. I've seen Helix being like from a probably top 100 to go to top 20 in less than a few weeks, so that's really good to see. Volume speaks words in that manner. So sweet, thanks for the introduction there. Volume, could you also give a brief introduction of BAM protocol to our new listeners? And also dive into how BAM protocol supports Injective. From when I was at Band in probably end of 2021, I know that we marked the first truly decentralized derivatives markets within crypto, together with Injective, whom helped us out quite a bit back then via the IBC Oracle module.
Yeah, so Band Protocol is basically an Oracle solutions provider. There's multiple in the space, as you may already know, but we are Cosmos based, like native Cosmos, and the first one too. Um, the way we work with Injective is we provide, so like we don't only just provide any data, but for Injective, given its focus on DeFi, we provide price data to Injective for their protocols that developing onto them. They're also one of our biggest clients, and honestly, the past year we've been working a lot on getting our price feed up and running natively, seamlessly via IBC. And really, the work we do with Injective, I would say, really shaped some of our product developments we plan to launch this year. Also, just to signify how much we're working together. Or we recently, or Injective recently set up a validating node for us, and like we're really really excited to work together going forward.
Sweet, thanks, Fun. Eric, going back to Injective here, seeing it's the first layer one blockchain having an on-chain order book module, which is obviously fully decentralized and MFV resistant. What's Injective's approach to maintain the security of the platform? Like what makes Injective different from other layer one blockchains?
Yeah, so again, Injective focuses on this specific vertical of DeFi. So basically, the security monitoring and also the way the community is aligned is always to protect the security of DeFi applications and ensuring that the users that are kind of benefiting from this vertical and application on top of Injective are always safe to kind of protect them from any type of exploits, attacks, etc. And I'm sure a lot of the validators, etc., will also agree that they're willing to, kind of align the blockchain with the interests of the major DeFi applications on top of Injective. On top of that, Injective has gone through multiple rounds of audit and will continue to do so to ensure the security of the software itself. And in terms of external integrations, Injective focuses on integrating and working with partners that are deploying kind of like the top applications with the best security standards, such as BAM protocol, to ensure that users are kind of enjoying the end-to-end secure suite to prevent any type of kind of potential issues. And one of the on the Oracle aspect, it's certainly to make sure that secure solutions are integrated so that users can have access to not only a diverse array of price feeds, but also the secure ones. And the same goes to any type of bridging infrastructure and also any type of external integrations.
So yeah, I couldn't agree. Personally, couldn't agree more. Fun chatting in on the subject for BAM protocol. How does our Oracle platform ensure that security and accuracy of off-chain data?
Yeah, I think one of the most unique thing about Injective and Band's collaboration is that it's one of the first instances of IPC transfer, which is a very secure message passing protocol, which allows for arbitrary passing of any type of data securely between two blockchains, secure by the two chains natively themselves. And one of the most interesting aspects of this integration is that it's the first instance where IBC, this transfer protocol, is utilized for data passing. And as a result of this, Injective and Band continues to be the most busy Cosmos-based IBC zones in terms of transfer number, like consistently.
This is true. This is very true. Like if you check on maps of Sona anywhere, like our channels are always so busy. Just to add on how Ben, we use several mechanisms to ensure the security and accuracy of our data. And I would say I could split this in maybe 2-3 things. So number one, it's a decentralized network of validators. As mentioned now, Injective is one of our validators, and we're really happy to have them. But these validators are incentivized to provide accurate data and reliable data. So it ensures that the network in itself, or they're incentivized to be good actors. Secondly, given we are Cosmos, right, the proof of stake mechanism, consistent mechanism requires them to hold and stake a certain amount of tokens as well. And the stake can be flashed if they provide an accurate or malicious data. So that's like another additional security. Last but not least, I would say Bandchain is a dedicated infrastructure. Yes, we, as Eric mentioned, the IBC part, but also on top of that, our chain itself is built specifically to provide the data and to support Oracle solutions. The network offloads heavy resource-intensive tasks, and only transactions are permitted or Oracle data. So it means that the exposure or risk exposure is less. So all in all, I would say, finally, the data is finalized on Bandchain only. And this really limits, again, the exposure and elements that could really be under risk of attack. And then on top of that, we actually have a team to monitor and maintain and upkeep all of the parts of our Oracle solutions. And what this means is we don't just rely on destination chain security or anything. We take it at heart. Like security is, I would say, what is the most important thing for us as an Oracle provider.
Sweet, cheers, guys. Lovely how we have security high on standards here, especially with everything that has happened over the last year. So to both Val and Eric, perhaps any of you can explain how the partnership came about, what kind of partnership we can expect in the foreseeing future. And let's start with Van here. Or Eric, perhaps. Did you guys hear the question, or should I rephrase?
Hi, sorry, I had like my connection drop.
Sure.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah. Did you get a question, or should I rephrase?
Can you hear the question again, please?
Yeah, sure. If you can explain how the partnership came about and what kind of partnership we can expect in the foreseeable future.
Okay, so actually the relationship between Ben and Injective precede my time. So it's even before I joined. And when I joined Band Protocol, one of the key things the team told me was like, oh, hey, like, we should really focus on Injective. They've been with us a long time. The team is really good, and we're working on IBC together, so it's really cool. Just to be very transparent, that's actually how it came about from my end. In terms of how we're gonna expect our partnership to grow in the further, like as mentioned, on top of just doing or relaying price feed data for them, Injective is a validator for us now. But actually going forward, I would love to see if we can accommodate any additional use cases that Injective is building or onboarding onto the chain. Like for instance, if they want to use synthetic data, if they want to use any kind of data, like would be really happy to explore that, even if they want LSD data staked, whatever. I'm really open to explore all of those.
Sweet, thanks, Van. Eric, coming back to Injective, I think there's a lot to talk about. I'll chime in on some bullet points that came up because you guys been developing like crazy over the last few months. A lot of projects have been built on top of Injective, but I think one of the key ones that stands out is Helix. It's the first decentralized exchange launched on Injective. Could you perhaps tell the listeners some more about that? How does it handle liquidity? Um, yeah, perhaps some information in that regard.
Yeah, sure. So for Helix's case, it has a very much of a hyper dynamic liquidity environment where there are both kind of like professional market maker, but also individual market makers and large institutions alike all participating within the liquidity environment in various markets. Obviously, one of the more familiar names out there that are currently actively participating and providing liquidity to Helix and a lot of other exchange applications is Jump, and there are also a lot of upcoming institutions that are onboarding and joining the ecosystem as well. Yeah, so basically, all the liquidity providers currently that are doing so in institutional scale are ever growing. And then on top of that, there are a lot of ways, especially from upcoming initiatives, et cetera, where, anyone gets to provide, highly sophisticated liquidity. For example, Ash Report, which is going to deploy on top of Injective mainnet and is currently deployed on top of Injective testnet, will have a version where they get to directly contribute, liquidity on top of the Injective order book. And also there are various other, applications such as Project X, which allows anyone to be able to market make and have no impermanent loss liquidity provisioning in the click of a button.
Yeah, that's super cool. Now I support from back on Terra. They were probably the largest automated market maker. I think they had a peak of like 1.6 billion in total value locked. So it's really cool to see them coming to Cosmos and built on top of Injective. I also noticed that there's another tab launching, White Whale, which is deploying a flash loan and arbitrage protocol. Yeah, I can certainly say that we've seen a lot of super cool projects join on Injective lately. So it's really cool. Perhaps you can share anything that what we can expect next for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I think one of the no-brainers that Project X is coming up, and that is certainly one of the most exciting projects that Injective community members are looking forward to. And there are also a lot of upcoming deployments from projects not only from Terra ecosystem but also from Solana ecosystem, etc., where they can really flex their muscle on building really innovative DeFi applications. And on top of that, there has just been so much ecosystem development and progress that it's very difficult for me to kind of keep track of it. But certainly staying tuned to the Injective Twitter and following some of the prominent products on top of Injective is definitely a great start to do so.
Yeah, sure thing. And obviously, you guys launched the Injective Launchpad, which is a 150 million ecosystem venture group, backed by some really big names. Kiko Ventures, I believe, Jump Crypto, Kraken Ventures, to name a few. So that's probably also why we see so many cool new startups and also existing projects being built on top of Injective. You guys also have a virtual hackathon. When will this actually start, and how can builders get involved and join there?
Yeah, certainly. The virtual hackathon is coming up very, very soon. Basically, it allows for any builders from all walks of life to participate virtually for like a few weeks of intense building session and team building, where a lot of these projects get to enjoy up to $1 million in prizes and seed funding. And on top of that, basically, they get to have firsthand support from a lot of the Injective Labs team members, as well as a lot of the venture group consortium members as well. And Yeah, I think another really cool thing is that it starts in early March.
Sweet, that's pretty quick. And probably one last subject to touch on before we move back to band. Injective obviously have deployed a lot of innovations to simplify the user experience, and to pick one out of it. I see that you guys have a fiat to crypto solution with Kadu, where Injective users can easily change between fiat and digital assets in seamless single transaction. Could you perhaps tell some more about that? How does it not only benefit Injective users, but also for any other dApp being built on top of Injective?
Yeah, certainly. Fiat on-ramp is a very critical part of the exchange infrastructure, and working with as many partners as possible to build an innovative application with fiat on and off ramp is one of the most important part of the user experience as well. And basically, currently, it's integrated with Kado, and there are a lot of upcoming integrations with various type of fiat rails as well to support more countries and more user bases. That's always very, very exciting.
Cool, thanks, man. Going back to band fun, we've recently, or few weeks, months ago, launched our band VRF, which is one of our new flagship products. Perhaps you can tell our listeners something about this amazing new feature.
Yeah, sure. So the band VRF, or verifiable random function, essentially allows you to generate random numbers, and this serves multiple use cases, but mostly for GameFi, as randomness is essential part of gameplay, as well as NFT minting. So we've designed the band VRF so that it is unbiased, verifiable, unpredictable, and tamper-proof. We take the same ethos as the prize feed one. So security is the most important. And recently we partnered with a utility NFT project called Interstellar, and they leveraged us to successfully verify the minting process of their NFT, which was sold within like 5 hours. Pretty cool. No, 5 minutes. Sorry. On top of that, this year actually we're working on something called TSS. It will be first integrated into our VRF product, but it will in the future be leveraged for our price feed too. And basically, TSS is a way that we could reduce the amount of gas consumed when we send proof to verify things. So really, really excited for this. And after this is done, or this iteration, an upgrade is done, hoping to be able to onboard more and more NFT tokens also, and like GameFi projects, or even expand more use cases.
Thanks, Juan. Another question for Injective. You guys also have your native token, ING, of course. Could you perhaps tell what the use case is of ING? I noticed that it has a built-in burning mechanism. How does it work?
Yeah, certainly it has a multitude of utility. It's a primary token to power the ecosystem and the blockchain itself. So the primary utility for the native token is proof of stake mechanism, which allows users to stake and delegate to validators or set up validators themselves and participate actively in the network. On top of that, basically there's an auction and burn mechanism which allows for any type of exchange fee or any type of ecosystem fee captured from the applications built on top of Injective to be auctioned and burned weekly. And today, I think there's 5.6-ish million INJ burn to date, where anyone basically gets to participate in this auctioning process and be able to earn some spread between the value of the fee pool, and then on top of that, the value of the native token as well. And another really cool thing is that any type of protocol changes, any type of parameter changes, or any type of chain upgrades that are happening on top of Injective, it requires a governance proposal, and any type of staker or delegators, the delegates with their native token gets to participate in this process.
Super amazing. I really like the how you guys started out. Fun, perhaps another interesting question for Ben. Seeing the multiple Oracle solutions being joining crypto lately. Could you perhaps tell how we stay ahead of the competition, given the growing number of Oracle solutions on the market?
Good question.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. So actually, even in the beginning, right? Data oracles really play an essential part in the industry for DeFi. So it's quite natural, I would say, and expected that the number of oracle solutions will grow as well. And to be honest, for me, I would say the more the merrier for the whole industry. Like I support that. Having said that, designing a good solution that is secure, trustworthy, and suitable for a wide area of use cases isn't always so straightforward. Like for us, we always have to iterate, adapt, and grow, and whilst ensuring some level of flexibility, so that it can be plugged into multiple client, customer, partners, however you want to call them. At the same time, holding security as paramount. Honestly, I would say, there have always been a number of Oracle projects that have attempted to enter the industry, and many have failed and no longer exist. So, like, we've seen so many come and go in the past few years. And like since the very beginning, we're really focused on and concentrating on the tech side. Maybe also segue that I could do more marketing and BD approached for this too. But like we really want to ensure that there was just not only just the product market fit, but that we deliver something that is suitable for everyone. Like you can see that we've never had, fingers crossed, any exploit with anyone, whereas many other players have been compromised. So I hope that over the years we've proven ourselves and our solution enough to be robust and reliable. In terms of staying ahead of the competition, and it's also in line with what we share in the community roadmap, we'll be rolling out multiple integration tools to ensure that Ban Oracle is now like super easy and seamless for developers to use. And actually, this is also partly thanks to Injective too, with what we've been working together over the past year with IBC. But basically, there's three key things that we're working on. And number one is how do we connect natively seamlessly between Chain and Cosm WASM contract. We actually launched or soft launched this already. And it basically ensures that all WASM contract developers can readily connect with our chain. The second step is Chain and Cosmos Chain integration module via IBC. And it's exactly what we do with Injective, but we've had like a lot of key learnings from this work. And it took us a while to and experience and time, right, to find out what are the key things we need to improve. And I think this kind of know-how, other people would take some time before they can play catch up. But basically, we're launching a module that once imported, it will enable the price feed function to be immediately called. So people can use it way more like faster and more seamlessly. And then the third one that we really, really are planning to launch would be quite a big thing is Chain to EVM compatible chains. And it's an integration program via our internal bridge contract. And the bridge contract actually came about from working on a VRF last year. So in the same manner that IBC enables Cosmos ecosystem chain to connect, we are launching this product to enable this connection between EVM compatible chain and Chain in a decentralized manner, which I think is quite cool. So let's see. So these new rollouts will not only increase interoperability and accessibility, but really would make it easier for anyone to integrate with Chain. It would make it easier for our community to, I would say, even support us in terms of pointing our end user on ready-made documentation, product, module program, so that they can just leverage it and just use BAN, basically.
Thanks for the in-depth explanation, Fon. Really cool. I think personally why there are obviously also not a lot of Oracle solution providers in comparison to other areas of this stack is because the tech behind oracles is really niche. And yeah, I think it's very hard to stay up to date and yeah, with all the ongoing tech. I think that's why there aren't a lot of Oracle solutions because the tech behind it is very niche and not known by a lot of people. So it's really cool to see that we stay out of our competition. Before we move to the Q&As, we have a few questions from the community to both Eric and Fawn. Seeing as Injective are banned both in the Cosmos ecosystem, how do you see the role of interoperability in the future of this blockchain space, and how do both projects contribute, excuse me, to this interesting tech moving forward? Let's start with Fawn and then Eric.
Oh, okay. So as mentioned just now, like really believe in like a multi-chain universe going forward. And the work with Injective is basically like set a good fundamental for us to now help explore ban Oracle with other Cosmos chains. And on top of that, the work we did with the bridge for VRF helps us explore options to go outside of Cosmos ecosystem. In the end, I think it will all be connected. And as also mentioned earlier, we're working with all of this work. We're finding more and more things that we can improve on, like the TSS, as I mentioned, or how we can send proof or verify it in like a more efficient and cheap way. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. I also foresee a lot of upcoming, integrations where anyone can supply any type of kind of Oracle price feed permissionlessly between Injective and Band, and creating a much more dynamic and interesting derivatives ecosystem. And on top of that, I'm sure with the upcoming EVM layer, it'll just spur like a new inflow of developers working on secure Oracle solutions, and more importantly, basically very very unique type of composability across ecosystems.
Yeah, and also like just wanted to chime in on like working within the Cosmos project. It really helped accelerate what we could do with the IBC capability. So obviously, like we hope we could keep a bi-weekly session with all the tech and engineers. Also like with this, we once we launched the product in the market and it's open source, we've been seeing multiple new projects leveraging us for new use cases that we didn't even think about. So it's been really quite cool to see how like the end user are then able to adapt the tech that we made available to create even more markets.
Cool. Eric, before we chime in on some Q&As, can you perhaps share some more deals on your future developments and upcoming events? We touched on a few already, but I've seen a tremendous amount of developments happening on Injective since the start of this year. So what's there to look out for in the coming months?
Yeah, basically there are a lot of like ongoing developments and initiatives done by labs and also the greater application ecosystem. Off the top of my head, things that I can disclose. First of all, Frontrunner is launching their mobile application, and this would mark the first ever mobile app, that's built on top of Injective. And then Project X is coming out very very soon. A lot of upcoming deployments and integrations are slated for the next month and two. A lot of them are with very very prominent players within the existing DeFi and L1 ecosystems, and then a lot of upcoming collaborations with major corporations and major institutions as well.
Thanks, Eric. And for Band Protocol, how do we continue developing and improving the features and capabilities? What kind of upgrades or updates can users expect in the future?
Yeah, I guess just to wrap up what I've been saying. So we're working on the integration tools so that we can support more chain's ecosystem. On top of that, we'll have to upgrade the chain in a way that it can carry all of the transactions that we plan to have on the chain. And the other thing is the improving the way we verify proof, so it's cheaper and consume less gas. Honestly, I think after all of these two are released, it means integrating with Ben would be so much easier. And then, developers will have more integration choices to choose from. If they're a Cosmos chain, it's two-way. You can integrate with Cosmos Wasm contract or even like natively on IBC. So adding all of those capabilities, I think, is top of mind for at least the next quarter. Then a TSS, and let's see where that pans out, because I'm already seeing multiple new products or narrative that we can support with this new capability of being able to verify proof with less gas and like leveraging our bridge. I don't think we ever really come out and say that, Ben built a bridge between EVM and Cosmos, but maybe with TSS, it meant that we can even go to market with it a little bit more. I'm thinking on the top of my head too.
Yeah, top of mind question for Eric there, hearing Fawn speaking about low gas fees. Since Injective obviously is a decentralized exchange, how do you guys actually make sure that the gas fees on Injective stay low? Over on Helix, seeing that there are a lot of trades being made with Ethereum gas fees and such. Just top of mind question for myself.
Yeah, I mean, like, number one, having a very, very fast block time certainly helps. Basically, just allows for more activity to be, spread out throughout multiple blocks rather than all concentrated within one block to make the, gas economy difficult. And then on top of that, there are a lot of optimizations being done around the, matching mechanism, around, all the various aspects of things. For example, Injective chain employs frequent batch auction, which allows for a lot of activities to be all batched within the same block, and allows the matching process to be highly efficient and highly optimized.
I see. Thank you. We had a few questions from the community. I'll pick out two, and then we can move on to some questions from our listeners tuning in. I had a question for Fawn. User asks, I understand the BAM protocol is an oracle. However, I'd love to know how differently it operates from other oracles such as Chainlink. Nice question.
We always get this. I think every Oracle solution is a little bit different. But two main things for BAN. Number one is we're based off of Cosmos SDK, and we have our own BAN chain. And as mentioned before, like, it's a dedicated chain which avoids network congestion. And it's literally just price data, right? Or Oracle data. So that also limits exposure to some attacks, if you may. And secondly is IBC. I think this is a key differentiator for us too. And having been the first mover in the industry for Oracle IBC, I think is quite important, or like a key differentiation point for us.
Thanks, Lon. Then we have another question for Injective. User asks, how is Injective tackling the issue of user adoption, and what steps are being taken to promote greater awareness and understanding of the platform among potential users and traders? Good question. I've also seen you guys, I think it was yesterday or the day before, post an ambassador program. You can chime in on that as well.
Yeah. Certainly, like the ambassador program is a way for, active community members to participate and focus on educating and bringing awareness to the ecosystem capability and the application capabilities. And on top of that, the virtual hackathon is certainly like a big boost to help, developers to get understanding on, the potentials and capabilities of Injective.
Sweet. I think we covered on most of the both projects and general partnership. If anyone has that is listening in has any questions to ask for either Fun and Eric, you can ask to be a speaker, and Jen from our marketing team will let you speak. And else we can probably wrap it up, but I'll wait a few seconds here. No one any questions? All right, then we're gonna wrap it up. Eric and Fun, thanks both for joining, and both for your time. Regarding today's AMA, and yeah, for everyone tuning in, make sure that you're up to date with both socials of Injective and Ban. Join their Telegram channels or Discourse if you have any questions. And without that, I'm probably gonna wrap it up. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
watching, and thank you, Eric, for joining too.